here's John Kirby. But actually, you know what? Before we get to John Kirby, let's talk about Benjamin Netanyahu's response. Okay? Like we talked about, Israel triple tapped the food aid workers who had been coordinating with the IDF on their movements. There's zero chance this wasn't intentional. Another brazen war crime. Okay? So what did Benjamin Netanyahu have to say about it? Oh, that's right. He said, my bad, shit happens. And I'm not even fucking joking when I say this. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds like this can't be real. Like no one can be this fucking callous. But yes, they are. Because why wouldn't they be this callous? Absolutely zero people can fucking rein Israel in. Yeah, and he was smirking while he said it too. Where, hold on, I want to show you the fucking video I saw. It is like pure evil, okay? Just pure, unadulterated evil. Here he is, Netanyahu. Here is Netanyahu.
אני משתחרר עכשיו מבית החולים הדסה עין כרם. הוא הפך להיות המשרד שלי ביממה האחרונה. המשכנו לפעול גם מכאן.
He's saying, unfortunately, a tragic instance of our forces unintentionally harming innocent people in the Gaza Strip. It happens in war. We'll investigate it. We're in contact with the governments, and we will do everything so that it doesn't happen again.
אני מבקש להודות לפרופסור פיקרסקי והצוות הרפואי.
Like, bro, what the fuck's happening here? Like, at least have the decency to look sad. You know what I mean? At least have the decency to look sad while you're fucking saying shit happens. Sorry, we murked a bunch of fucking foreign aid workers.
של בית החולים הדסה עין כרם שביצע בי ניתוח בקע מוצלח. אני מבקש להודות לכם, המוני אזרחי ישראל ש...
I guess it's not for the American audience because he is spitting in Hebrew here, so that's maybe why he's got the smirk on, you know? As we have talked about before, time and time again, there are two different types of communication coming out of Israel. You have the Hebrew stuff, right? Which is like for the Israeli audience, so it has a very different vibe to it overall. And you have the English coverage. Whenever Benjamin Netanyahu is speaking in English, he has a very different tone. Okay? When he's speaking in Hebrew, is also very different. It's crazy how so many Israelis have said he hasn't been brutal enough. It's such a sick society. The shame Israelis will feel a decade from now will be similar to that of Germany. He's smiling because first he talks about his operation and talks briefly about the incident. Yeah, he's happy his hernia surgery was successful.
שלחתם איחולי החלמה, אני מחלים, תודה לכם. לצערנו ביממה האחרונה היה מקרה טרגי של פגיעה לא מכוונת של כוחותינו באנשים חפים מפשע ברצועת עזה. זה קורה במלחמה, אנחנו בודקים את זה עד תום.
Yeah, he was put under for a little bit, and of course, nothing bad happened to him. Because nothing bad happens to evil people. All right, let's watch CNN coverage on this now. I've said this so many times, but literally, I'm telling you right now, okay?
World Central Kitchen is pausing its Gaza operations after 7 of its workers were killed in an airstrike, leaving even fewer options for Palestinians on the brink of famine. They had just finished unloading
Winstonian, thank you for the 5-2-1 gift to
at
subs.
a warehouse in central Gaza when the group says their cars were hit by an Israeli strike. Here's what the Israeli Prime Minister had to say.
Unfortunately, in the last day, there was a tragic incident where our forces unintentionally struck innocent people in the Gaza Strip. It happens in war, and we are thoroughly investigating
GG's, it happens.
We are in contact with the governments, and we'll
the
do
real
everything
Stone Ruby,
to
think of the
prevent such
5-2-1 gift to
occurrences in
subs.
the future.
Well, World Central Kitchen has been feeding starving residents of Gaza since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. CNN's Melissa Bell is in Jerusalem. Melissa, devastating news for World Central Kitchen aid workers. What more do we know about the strike and, importantly, also the messaging from Israel right now? What we've heard is that they were in touch with the IDF, they knew the route, but clearly something went wrong, and right now we just don't know what.
That's right. In fact, we've just been hearing from the IDF, Eleni, saying that its top general is personally going to review the information as it comes in as part of what's been described to us as the high-level probe that is being launched to try and figure out what went on. As you say, according to World Central Kitchen, this was a convoy in a deconflicted part of Gaza. It had been delivering 100 tons of aid to a warehouse. The convoy was then leaving when it was hit. And when you look at those pictures of the aftermath,
how could this have happened? I'm shocked, personally, that the country whose military practices involve shooting unarmed, white flag waving Israeli hostages because they weren't sufficiently in the moment looking, I guess, Israeli enough, even though they were speaking in Hebrew. That country ended up deliberately targeting a humanitarian aid convoy that it allowed to operate. That's crazy. Very shocking. Yeah, a convoy that was struck 3 times over 2 kilometers as people ran from one car to the next, and also informed as fast as they possibly could that this was the wrong fucking convoy that they were hitting.
Of the strike, you can see on the armored car the World Central Kitchen logo clearly exposed. So that will now be the subject of an investigation by the IDF. But of course,
yeah, dude, we investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing, of course. Hey, by the way, before people fucking go like, how could they have done this? I mean, it's probably an accident. It's probably an accident. Let me explain something to you, okay? Here is a photo of one of the fucking cars. You know, one of the cars that got melted. What does that say next to that, next to the fucking impact site? Oh, that's right. It says World Central Kitchen. Unintentionals that drop the missile 300 feet away and shrapnel hit you, not a direct hit. No, there is no unintentional. Israel is correct when they openly state that they know where every missile lands. Okay? Israel knows where every fucking missile lands. Remember, after the Great March of Return, the Israeli officials openly said, we know where every sniper rifle bullet lands. Every bullet is accounted for. And then they had to delete that tweet. Okay? Why did they have to delete that tweet? Because they were like, oh shit, it looks bad that we were just like straight up wounding children with snipers. There is no defense for Israel. There is no defense whatsoever. It is not an accident. It is a deliberate targeting. It's never an accident. Okay? They only say it's an accident when they feel like the rest of the world is looking at it and going, what the fuck are you doing? Only then do they go, oh, it's an accident. Because it's not an accident. It's not. It's intentional. It's always intentional.
the fact that the World Central Kitchen, that has played, as you say, such a crucial role in getting aid to the hungry in Gaza. And let us bear in mind that it is 2.2 million people, according to the UN, that are at danger of hunger, and half of the population of Gaza that is now facing famine. So this was critically needed aid coming to people.
Why does this matter when they're doing more strikes as civilian Gazans every day, 10x more? Why do you think, dude? Because most people don't give a shit about Palestinians getting fucking lasered, but they do give a shit when their neighbors are getting fucking lasered. Everybody knows somebody that at least like went and fucking I don't know, does like humanitarian aid and shit. Okay? It sucks, but that is the entire principle. That is literally the entire purpose behind Doctors Without Borders. So that like they put white people in hospitals so they don't blow up the fucking hospitals. And America still does it, by the way. Kunduz, Obama did it. And Israel certainly as well keeps doing it regardless. But that's the whole fucking principle behind these organizations, is that like you put white people, you know, which have more social capital in the eyes of other white people living in the fucking Western world, so that they hopefully won't get murked by Israel. That's the whole point. And Israel does not give a shit. Israel's still like, I don't care. Fuck you.
who desperately needed it. The World Central Kitchen has played a crucial role because even as the land crossings have remained very difficult for so much of the aid that agencies are trying to get in, they had been delivering it by sea. So ships coming in from Cyprus, delivering the aid to a jetty that has been made off the edge of northern Gaza. And what we understand, Eleni, is that that aid that had just been delivered to the warehouse was indeed aid that had just been delivered to Gaza by maritime route. So the fact that World Central Kitchen is pausing its operations, really a devastating blow to the overall humanitarian picture in the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, I mean, it's really devastating to see the images and the aftermath of this strike. Melissa, I also want to understand in terms of where to from here. The IDF says they're going to be embarking on an investigation at the highest level. You've got the US voicing their concern. The Australian Prime Minister also saying that there needs to be accountability. I guess everyone here needs to find out exactly what happened. In these sort of matters, how quickly will we hear from the IDF in terms of understanding why the strike happened on something that was clearly marked as aid workers?
It's so funny. They're like, how could this have happened? Why could this have happened? I mean, I guess it's just like journalism speak. You know what I mean? Like they're doing the classic, like, we're all confused out at how this could have happened. Like, we're all so confused by it. Like, how could this have happened, really? It's like, dude, come on. You're at CNN. Like, I know for a fact, I know producers that work at CNN and have worked at CNN. Pretty much everybody fucking behind closed doors knows that Israeli officials are the least reliable orators on issues that pertain to Israel. Everybody knows they're fucking lying. Everyone knows what the fuck is going on. You see the news reports. You cover it. How many times do you have to go, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. That's crazy.
I suspect that the answers are going to have to come pretty quickly, Eleni, because as you suggest, it was the diverse background of these workers. There was an American-Canadian citizen, a British citizen, a Polish citizen, an Australian citizen, a Palestinian as well. And you've heard outrage expressed from all of their home countries, including the White House, which has spoken of its sorrow and concern about what might have gone on. So these countries are asking urgent questions, as are the UN agencies that have so desperately been trying to get aid in and raise alarm bells about what's going on inside the Gaza Strip. We've been hearing, Eleni, from the head.
No uproar when Palestinians go through this 10,000 times a month. Chatters, you're making the correct point, but it's ridiculous to make that point right now. Okay? Use a moment like this to get other people on board. Stop being fucking stupid, because ultimately, if more people are aware of what the fuck's going on, every single person that you bring on to your cause, okay, means that there are now more people protesting against Israel as it kills. Senin ananı sikeyim FETÖ'cü orospu çocuğu Hasan. Ölçtüm kafasıyla 20 santim.
Head of the UN's agency that deals with relief in the occupied territories, pointing out that this is far from an isolated incident. It is 196 aid workers, he says, that have been killed so far since the war began across the occupied territories. And that is a reminder of how very dangerous this work is at a time when it is increasingly desperately needed. Of course, we've been hearing repeatedly from the IDF, from the Israeli side, Eleni, of their attempts to increase the amount of aid getting in, to work with the aid agencies as they try to bring relief. But in terms of what's happening on the ground, we continue to hear from the UN agencies desperate pleas for more to get in, and in this particular case, what appears to be a failure on the IDF side to work with these humanitarian aid workers. So I believe that we will have to be getting answers fairly quickly from them, given the amount of outrage that's been expressed. We've been hearing from also the head of the UN's relief agency across the world speaking.
Volibear Zelensky, IDF is far worse than Hamas, but Hamas still sucks, and October 7th is a product of occupation and blockade. It's still wrong to slaughter families. I think we both agree on that, but I'm saying this because some chatters seem to think one or the other. Yeah, no, these are things that every single thing that you just said, I have mentioned time and time again. Those are my positions. Of course, I don't think that it's valid to fucking kill. I don't think it's valid to kill civilians. Like, it's just, my anger towards Israel is not like unfounded or guided by some like secret anti-Semitism that I have or anything. It's because they kill fucking civilians and they make their lives brutal. When they're not killing civilians,